Hello, Miss Shannon's class. Today we are going to read Pablo's Tree. If you look at the cover at the front of this book and you had to guess what this book was going to be about, what would you say? It's called Pablo's Tree. Think hard. What is this book going to be about? Well, let's read and see if you're right. I'm ready, Mama, I say. I'm ready for my birthday visit to Lito's. Hurry, Mama, I want to see my tree. I wonder if Lito, my grandfather, remembered. I wonder if he remembered to decorate my tree. I ask, Mama, did Abuelito decorate my tree? Your grandfather does not forget to decorate your tree, Pablo. Do you have your suitcase? What new birthday toys are you taking to Abuelito's? Asked Mama. I've got my purple car, my book about whales, my tambourine, and my flute. Every year I spend the night after my birthday at my grandfather's house. We sit under my tree, we play with my new toys, and every year Lito decorates my tree for my birthday visit. Maybe my grandfather forgot this year, though. Are you sure he didn't forget? I ask. I'm sure, says Mama. So Pablo is going to visit his grandpa, and he has a special tree at his grandpa's house. Please tell me, Mama. Tell me what Lito put on my tree this year. Is it lights? Is it little piñatas? Mama smiles. Pablo, don't you like surprises? Come, let's go see your tree. As we drive along, I ask, is it little animals? Is it candy? My mother just smiles and winks. So every year when he goes and visits his grandfather after his birthday, his grandpa decorates his tree. It's something different every year. Lito, Lito, I say, I'm here, I'm here. Lito opens the screen door. His face is happy, like a full moon. Lito gives my mother a kiss and a hug. Lito, I say, I brought my new birthday toys. We can sit under my tree and play with my toys all day and all night. Lito and my mother laugh. Pablo, says Lito, hugging me. ¿Cómo está mi nito grande? How is my big grandson? I give Lito a giant hug. He almost falls down. Pablo, says Mama. Ciudad? Be careful, but Lito likes my giant hugs. Let's go see my tree, I say. Hurry, hurry, Lito. I take Lito's hand and pull him back to the back door. What do you think's going to be on his tree this year? Some of the ideas in the car were little animals or little piñatas. When I see my tree, I run to it. I touch the tiny colored bells and wind chimes. Ooh, I say. I run around the tree touching the bells and chimes. The wind blows and my tree jingles and rings. So what's around his tree this year? He has colored bells, so bells, and wind chimes. So the tree makes a lot of noise. I give Lito another giant hug, and again I almost knock him down, but he just smiles. Mama gives us each a goodbye kiss. We take her to the car. We put my suitcase in my room, and Lito throws me an apple. We take out the bag of toys and bring them under the tree. Lito plays my flute. He says, Pablo, do you remember the story of your tree? I run around and around my tree. I touch the branches so the bells and chimes ring. I shake my new tambourine. One day your mother came to this house. Yes, says Lito. One day my mother came to this house, I say. Yes, says Lito. Your mother said, I'm going to adopt a baby. I went to the nursery down the street and bought a small tree. I said, Esta árbol es para mi nieto. This tree is for my grandson. Your mother said, Ah, Papa, what if the baby is a girl? I said, I love little girls, but this tree is for my boy. If it is a boy, he will have your name, and he will be Pablo too, said your mother. Lito stops and smiles. Then he asks, What did we buy for the new baby, Pablo? You and Mama brought bottles and blankets for me. Yes, said Lito, laughing. We waited and waited for the phone to ring. We waited and waited for the words, Come for your baby. I watered your tree, but I didn't plant it. I waited for you. So Pablo is adopted, and his mom and grandpa were waiting to hear the news from the adoption agency that was said, you may come get your baby. So grandpa had the tree ready, but he was going to wait until Pablo was there in his mom's in his arms before he planted the tree. First, I pulled a little tree in the front yard near the sidewalk. No, I said, that spot was too noisy for my boy's tree. And then you put it there in the rose garden, I say, but you saw too many thorns. Then you put my tree here. So he was trying to decide where to put the tree. One day, says Lito, the phone rang. Your mother called. Her voice was full of smiles. She said, Papa, guess what? When do I see my boy? Your mother laughed and laughed. She said, Papa, how do you know it's a boy? I put your tree in the front door to welcome you. I washed my face and combed my hair. I looked out the window and waited for your mother's car. I went out front and walked back and forth on the sidewalk. Then I saw it. I watched your mother lift you out so carefully from the car. I looked at you and you looked at me. Your mother said, Hold him, Papa. Hold him, Papa. Hold Pablo. You fit just right in my arms, I said. Pablo, come and see your tree. Then I said, Come, let's plant Pablo's tree. Your mother held you while I got my shovel and watering can, says Lito. Carefully, I dug a hole and planted your tree here in the sun. So as soon as Pablo got to his grandpa's house, they planted Pablo's tree right in the sun. I say, and the tree grew and grew like me. On your first birthday, said Lito, I hung streamers off your tree, yellow, orange, and red. I carried you around to see them. And I grabbed them with my fist, I said. And on your second birthday, I tied balloons of every color. You ran around and around your tree. I lifted you up to touch your balloons. You did not let me rest. On your third birthday, you put paper lanterns on my tree. And what was on your tree last year? Asked Lito. Bird cages. You put tiny bird cages all over my tree. And this birthday is bells and chimes. I race around and around my tree. I touch the branches and they ring. Lito and I sit and listen to the wind. We listen to my tree. We munch our apples. I ask, what will you put on my tree next year, Lito? Lito chuckles and winks. Pablo, that's a surprise. The end.